Any of them. I'll fight any of them, anytime, anywhere.
But who's the best matchup for you?
I want to challenge myself against the best in the world, and that's Usyk. Usyk has beaten Joshua. Usyk has beaten Tyson. Usyk has beaten Dubois. He's beaten everyone.
Joseph Parker has thrown down the gauntlet, and he's not backing down. In front of cameras, microphones, and fans, he made it clear, I'll fight any of them, anytime, anywhere. But when pressed on who he truly wants, Parker didn't flinch. He named Oleksandr Usyk. The very man who dismantled Anthony Joshua twice, who dominated Daniel Dubois, who danced circles around every challenge placed before him. For Parker, this isn't about headlines or hype. This is personal. This is about testing himself against the best boxer in the world. But calling out Oleksandr Usyk isn't the same as stepping in the ring with him. Usyk isn't just a champion. He's a tactician, a ring general. He's the kind of fighter who doesn't just beat you. He takes your confidence, your timing, your rhythm, and rewrites your strategy mid-fight. Against Joshua, he made a power puncher look lost. Against Dubois, he mentally broke him by round 5. And against Parker, fans are questioning whether Joseph even belongs in the conversation. Still, Parker isn't lacking in confidence. He says, I believe wholeheartedly in what I can do in the ring.
And now, I need to get in the ring and fight. I've been waiting for too long.
Backed by respected trainer Andy Lee and strength and conditioning coach George Lockhart, Parker believes a solid camp and a smart game plan can make all the difference. According to him, they'll come up with something new, something different than what Usyk has seen before. But belief alone doesn't beat brilliance. And brilliance is exactly what Usyk brings. For some observers, Parker's call-out feels less like ambition and more like desperation. He's fought big names before, Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua, and came up short. Now he's looking up at the mountain again, but this time the peak is even higher. Oleksandr Usyk is not just undefeated, he's untouched. He's a man on a historic run, and Parker's attempt to chase him feels more like a last stand than a strategic climb. Andy Lee, though, sees a different story. He credits Parker with improving dramatically, cutting out mental breaks, increasing his output, and sharpening his focus. According to Lee, Parker now fights with purpose and consistency. But the problem is, Usyk doesn't wait for breaks, he manufactures them. He manipulates the rhythm of the fight to his advantage. He reads his opponents like open books, turning every small mistake into an opportunity. Behind the scenes, boxing politics are at work too. Promoter Frank Warren is making moves. Parker's name is near the top of the mandatory list, and if the WBA or IBF orders it, Usyk may have to face him. But let's be honest, being the mandatory challenger isn't the same as being the deserving one. Parker may be next in line, but the question remains, is he truly the next best? Roy Jones Jr. has added to the conversation, praising Parker's recent form. He says Parker looks more relaxed, more fluid, more dangerous than ever. But as fans quickly point out, comfort doesn't beat chaos. And chaos is exactly what Usyk brings to the ring. He'll bait you into patterns, lull you into confidence, and then dismantle you with angles and timing you never saw coming. Parker might feel good now, but Usyk thrives in taking that feeling away. Even pundits like Ade Oladipo admit Parker is in his best shape, mentally and physically. He's quick, throws in combination, and works with a top-tier team. But Ade also hints at the uncomfortable truth. This might not be a real threat, but just noise. Parker has called out big names before, Joshua, Whyte, and now Usyk. There's a pattern here. Target the top dogs and hope lightning strikes. But Usyk doesn't play those games. He's not baited by words. He's only beaten by perfection, and even that hasn't been found yet. So what does the champion himself think of all this noise? Usyk, in typical fashion, isn't riled up. After a grueling 3.5-month training camp, he just wants to rest. In interviews, he calmly states that he hasn't seen his family in months and now seeks peace. No trash talk, no ego, just humility. That's what makes Usyk so dangerous. He doesn't need to talk. He lets the fists speak, and when they do, they say everything. Tony Bellew, who was once in the ring with Usyk and ended up retired afterward, has thrown Parker's name into the mix. Bellew knows what it's like to stand in front of the Ukrainian genius. He was winning early in their fight, until Usyk adjusted, flipped the switch, and ended things decisively. So if Bellew thinks Parker has a shot, it might be less of a prediction and more of a warning. Don't take Usyk lightly. He's not just a fighter, he's a finisher. Johnny Nelson provides a chilling analysis of how Usyk broke down Daniel Dubois. He didn't just beat him. He took away his jab, then his movement, then his confidence. By round 5, Dubois was already sitting on the canvas wondering how it all went wrong. That's the kind of systematic destruction Usyk brings to the table. And that's what Parker's up against. He's never faced someone who can pick you apart while barely breaking a sweat. Joe Gallagher sums it up perfectly. Usyk's legacy is already secure. He's unified the cruiserweight division. He's outclassed heavyweights. He beat Joshua twice and humbled Dubois. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. The new generation is chasing him now. But hunger isn't enough. Against Usyk, you need genius, and Parker just doesn't look like that guy. If the fight does happen, it'll be one of the most fascinating tests of the year. For Parker, it's the biggest opportunity of his career. For Usyk, it's another name, another challenge, another clinic. If Parker somehow pulls off the miracle, it'll go down in history next to Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. But realistically, most fans already know what's coming. Parker is solid. He's respected. But Usyk? He's on another level entirely. Usyk is the kind of fighter who coasts through early rounds, downloads your entire skill set, and then begins his work. By round 6, he's already in control. By round 9, you're wondering if you even belong in the ring. Parker might believe he's the man to change that, but we've seen what happens to men who think they've figured out Usyk. They all fall the same way. So now we turn to you, the fans. Does Joseph Parker stand a real chance against Oleksandr Usyk? Is this the moment where a solid heavyweight becomes a legend? Or is this just another name added to Usyk's growing list of outclassed challengers? Let us know in the comments. Because one thing's for sure, Usyk isn't chasing greatness. He is greatness. And anyone who steps into the ring with him better be ready to face that reality.